D.P. Davis was a bold, ambitious, and enigmatic figure, one of the many dreamers and risk-takers who defined the 1920s Florida's land boom. Davis could be described as ambitious, relentless, and charismatic. He had a visionary drive and personal recklessness that made him both wildly successful and ultimately doomed. However, what was most intriguing about D.P. Davis was not his life, but his mysterious disappearance and assumed death. On the night of October 12, 1926, while en route to France, Davis disappeared from the ocean liner Majestic without a trace. His presumed death remains one of the most intriguing mysteries in Florida history. Let's explore the enigma that created Tampa's legendary Davis Island. David P. Davis was a man who seemed destined for greatness. Born in 1885 in Green Cove Springs, Florida, he rose from humble beginnings to become one of the most ambitious land developers of the 1920s Florida real estate boom. He started his career in the railroad industry, working his way up before shifting into real estate, where he saw an unprecedented opportunity to capitalize on Florida's land boom. D.P. Davis had a vision for the Tampa waterfront. He intended to transform the mangrove-covered, flood-prone Big Grassy and Little Grassy islands into a Mediterranean-style waterfront paradise, a community of luxury homes, hotels, yacht basins, and parks. He planned to dredge millions of cubic yards of sand and shell from the bay to raise the islands above sea level, making them habitable for the first time. And he did just that. He built artificial islands where there had once been only water, transforming Tampa's coastline and laying the foundation for luxury real estate developments. At the height of his career, Davis was a millionaire, an elite figure in Florida's high society. His developments attracted investors from across the country, and he seemed unstoppable. But success, like the tides, is fleeting. By the mid-1920s, the Florida land boom had begun to collapse, and Davis's empire started to crumble as property values plunged. Overextended on credit, the cracks in Davis's world were growing. He had been forced to sell his interest in Davis Islands, the project he had once envisioned as his crowning achievement. His Davis Shores project in St. Augustine was struggling, bleeding money instead of bringing in the flock of northern investors he had anticipated. Davis's aggressive development strategies had left him financially overextended. To make matters worse, his marriage to Elizabeth Nelson had fallen apart. Once a glamorous couple, they had become estranged. She had left him, fleeing to France, and Davis, desperate to find a new beginning, booked passage to Europe aboard the luxury liner Majestic. Some believed he intended to reconcile with his wife. Others thought he was fleeing financial ruin. However, Davis would never reach his destination. He would mysteriously disappear on the evening of October 12, 1926, somewhere in the vast Atlantic. There was no body ever recovered, and no clear evidence of what happened to the real estate mogul. In the years since his disappearance, several theories have been posed as to what may have happened that night. Theory 1. The accident theory. The most conventional explanation suggests that Davis simply fell overboard. His traveling companion, Lucille Zering, later claimed that he had been sitting in an open porthole when a strong gust of wind knocked him into the sea. She allegedly tried to grab his leg, but he slipped from her grasp. If true, this would make his death an unfortunate accident. Except there were no other witnesses, and her account left many unanswered questions. Theory 2. A man's tragic choice. By 1926, Davis was a man in decline. The Florida land boom had collapsed, and with it, his fortune. He had lost control of Davis Islands, the pinnacle of his ambitions, and now faced an uncertain future. Some believe the weight of it all became too much. A ship steward reportedly overheard an argument between Davis and Zering, during which Davis was heard saying, "I can go on living or end it. I can make money or spend it. It all depends on you." Moments later, a loud splash was heard. Was this the final act of a man who saw no way forward, or was there more to the story? Theory 3. A sinister end. There are those who suspect that Davis didn't go willingly into the sea. The Florida real estate world was rife with speculation, corruption, and powerful figures who stood to lose and gain fortunes overnight. Some have theorized that Davis had made enemies, ones who saw his disappearance as a solution. Theory 4. The Great Escape. By 1926, D.P. Davis had gone from millionaire mogul to financial ruin. The Florida land boom had collapsed, taking his empire with it. He had lost control of his prized Davis Islands development and was deeply in debt. But what if he saw a way out? One last deal, not in property but in his own disappearance. Could he have orchestrated his disappearance to cash in on his insurance and dodge his creditors? Did D.P. Davis start a new life in Europe? Our conclusion. With Davis bankrupt, he had just one last asset remaining: his life. Just a few months before his final voyage, D.P. Davis purchased a hefty $300,000 life insurance policy. This would be the equivalent of $5.5 million today. Davis was savvy enough to know that taking his own life would void the policy. But an accidental death? That just might secure the massive payout to leave to his family. Davis's companion on the Majestic, Lucille Zering, was the last person to see him alive. Her story: that he was sitting in an open porthole when a gust of wind blew him out to sea. This account immediately raises red flags. 1920s ocean liner portholes were small, typically 11.5 to 17 inches in diameter, far too tight for an adult man to sit in comfortably. The idea that he could have been blown out stretches credibility. A ship steward reported hearing an argument between Davis and Zering just before he vanished. Davis was allegedly overheard saying, "I can go on living or end it. I can make money or spend it. It all depends on you." Moments later, a loud splash was heard. Was this Davis signaling his intent? Did Zering agree to cover up the truth, knowing that if she admitted he had jumped, the insurance payout would be lost? Victory National Life Insurance Company was suspicious. Its president, Sumter Lowry, hired a private investigator to determine if foul play was involved. Despite no body ever being recovered, the investigator ruled it an accident, and the insurance company paid out the claim. Lucille Zering never changed her story, despite its impossible details. She continued her journey to Paris with Davis's young son, as if nothing had happened. We will probably never know the true details of what happened that night. Did Lucille agree to tell a lie to secure the fortune Davis left behind? Had she made a promise to him before he stepped off the edge? In the end, it is all just speculation. What we do know is that Davis disappeared, the insurance paid out, and his fate has become one of Florida's greatest unsolved mysteries. Thank you for watching this episode of the Florida Files. Please like, subscribe, and share our videos. Your support means a lot. Until next time.